just destroyed that ball into the corner.
He pulled a rabbit out of his hat right now. Every trick in the book available. Here we go.
Daniel's going to go back to the...
They're going to do it. They got to do it right now.
What a get. 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 This is amazing right here.
Oh my God. What a way to end the rally. People are going insane.
All right, everybody. So welcome to Beyond the Court, episode 58. I'm going to bring our co-host Leo in to discuss the new intro. What's up, Leo?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome. That's Suds. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, thank you for being here. Let's just tell everybody real quick why we had to do that. So Leo, we were working like crazy behind the scenes for the last about 30 minutes. There were some issues with some copyright on music and blah, blah, blah. So we just put that together really quick. Veronica, unbelievable. We're probably going to have a new one next week. So we're not going to have a close tonight, but hope everybody enjoyed it. It was just kind of like a mashup of some highlights that were literally on our devices. So what's going on, Leo? What are we talking about tonight, man?
Ooh, got a stacked show. We got some special guests we're going to bring in later on tonight. Of course, the big topic that we'll all are going to be talking about is the U.S. Open. Surprisingly, the IRT and the LPRT released the draws via the fantasy bracket. So we're going to bring in our expert, our numbers, our IRT, our LPRT, our international. He does a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, Todd, the Boss Consulting, it's amazing. We'll let him talk about, pro racquetball stats. I'm just not a huge stat guy, but he knows that. We'll talk about that. Todd, I love you. I'll see you in a second. Because there's always, much more of a story to it. And I love when him and I debate, so it'll be fun. We'll talk about that. For everybody watching, get engaged. There's nobody better in racquetball than Leo, making sure that you're all engaged and we're talking to you in the chat room. So we're going to do that. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have Mike Coulter. He's going to be our guest also. Three-wall ball. We're going to get to that. I see you just put up a comment there. We do have a third-party producer in the back room too.
We do have a call out to Kane. So we asked him if he'd be willing to come on the show tonight, and I don't think he'll be able to make it. He had some family issues. We'll get into that in a little bit later on. Most of you that do not know, Kane officially notified the IRT. They removed him from the draw. So if you're watching the participants list like we were, you'll see that Kane is no longer in there. So I'm sure the IRT shifted the draws, and that's why today we're going to get to do a preview. So.
All right, so Leo, I think that's it's about that time. What do you say? We do a quick commercial, and then we're going to be right back with Mike Coulter from Three-Wall Ball, the famous Mike Coulter out in Las Vegas. And we'll also bring in Todd Boss for that too, because I know he's pretty active, all right? So don't move. Give us 20 seconds. Share it. Get it out there. Get everybody here. We see there's almost 50 people watching right now. Leo, can we get it to like 100 people? That'd be pretty awesome. All right? Hey, don't move. 30 seconds. Back with Mike Coulter, Todd Boss.
Pull up that check. All right, Suds, are you back with us? I think he froze up. We'll wait for Suds to get back in. So, yeah, Kane, if you're watching and you want to come on the show, send Suds a text, man. We'd love to have you on just for a moment. We don't know how Kane is feeling, but what we can tell you is that Kane had an MRI on Friday, and he has yet to release any additional information about that MRI. So to answer that question, how does he feel? We don't know.
Well, we might have him. I mean, we might not, but we will. We'll definitely chat with him. So we'll get to that U.S. Open shortly. Let's bring in our guest for the evening, Mr. Todd Boss from Pro Racquetball Stats. What's up, Todd?
Hello.
Hey, Todd.
Good to see you guys. How's everybody feeling?
We're good. We're good. How are you feeling? You ready to do this? Why are you so far away, Leo? Does Todd look like he's a little too far away from the camera? Can you get closer here, boss?
He's afraid of us.
Yeah, get in here.
Move it.
He's scared
Get
of
in
us.
here.
Move it in.
We might bite him.
How's that?
Better. We like that. Now, Todd, before we get to the U.S. Open, we are going to bring in our friend, Mr. Mike Coulter. I don't see his camera, but let's... MC, what's up? Can you hear us?
He may have frozen.
Did he freeze?
You can ask him if he can restart and come back if he can hear us.
I'll text him. I'll say, hey, I'll say, Mike,
Let me give him a bump.
go out and come back in. Todd, you going to Vegas?
I'm going to Vegas, yes. Can't go.
So
Couldn't make a U.S. Open trip happen this year, but I will be in Vegas.
Oh, I assume you were going to go, Todd. To the
Yeah.
U.S. Open, sorry.
Todd, have you go ahead.
Yeah, it's one of those things, just from a work perspective. If I was going to be there, I had to be there for our board meeting in person on Tuesday, and then that's a big chunk of time for a consultant like myself.
Yeah.
Todd, as a board member for USAR, let's get this right out of the way before. No, we're not. I'll get back to that. Let's bring Mike Coulter. Let's get Mike Coulter in right now. MC Vegas. Mike Coulter, what's up, buddy? How are you? MC, can you hear us?
I can see him.
I can see him. Todd, can you see Mike?
I can. He looks frozen.
He's not frozen. He's in Vegas.
He looks busy.
Mike?
I like the Leroy Newman poster in the background, though. That's a very famous shot.
Leroy Neiman. Isn't it Neiman or is it Newman? Neiman. I think it's Neiman. Like Joaquin Neiman, the golf player. Hey, MC Vegas, can you hear us? We are having some technical difficulties. He says he can't hear us. Leo, what do you got for him?
May have a setting on...
What about our third-party producer in the background? Hey, sorry, everybody. We're going to work this out. We just want to get a quick update. MC, can you leave and come back? We got Keith Miner watching, and we don't like him to see our foul-ups. I see Keith Miner, KWM Gutterman signed on, Chad Bailey. Leo, I know there's a bunch of people in there. Steve Castleberry always in. We're going to get to the U.S. Open, Leo.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the chat box up. I like the chat. I like to see the comments as they come in. People kind of give us a little temperature of what's going on. Todd, I know if you see some comments in there you want to address, go ahead. If you guys have questions for Todd, you can also type them in the chat.
Let's get Mr. Coulter out of there. And I'm going to tell him to try back in. What do you think, guys? You want to go right into the Open? I'll tell him to try back in about 30 minutes. Does that work?
Yeah, we can do that.
Get right into the Open. I know Todd's jumping out of his skin. Todd is the GOAT of stats, by the way, Castleberry. That is why I believe he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame of Racquetball or the contributor. What's that contributor award? One of the two, if not both.
You can, ironic that you asked me this because I'm on the Hall of Fame committee. So you can be nominated in 5 different categories: as a pro player, an amateur player, as a contributor. So, that would probably be me. I don't think my pro record is quite up to the level of Sudsy or Cliff or somebody like that. And then there's also there's also technically an outdoor contributor as well, or an outdoor player.
All right, well, with the outdoor, we're going to try Mike Coulter one more time, everybody. Mike, can you hear us now?
Wait,
Mike?
if you can hear us, Mike.
Can you hear us?
It's like his video is on slow motion.
Is he frozen? I'm just glad it's not me tonight, because it will be at some point. All right, so that's a no. Leo, we're going to kick Mike out. Can you shoot him a text, tell him try back in about 30 minutes?
Yep,
Does that
sorry
work?
about that. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, we can't. Something's up there. All right. Love you, buddy. Talk about 3-wall ball in a little bit. All right, let's do it, gents. Let's get right into it. Everybody's paying attention. Leo, you brought it up. You were the first one to do it. You said Kane is not in the draw. So do we want to, let's first do this. Do we want to start, Todd, you weren't here, but Leo and I, we're going to fill out the fantasy bracket. And it's going to be majority rules amongst the three of us in the LPRT. The IRT doesn't have a fantasy bracket, so the three of us are going to fill out the LPRT live. What do you think? Let's go. Let's start LPRT live first. Leo, let's do the bracket together. Todd, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Everybody at home, you ready? Because we want your opinions. We want you in the chat. Figure it out.
Let's see. We do have a graphic. So, we weren't notified of anything. We basically wanted to do this show and had no time indication of when they were going to release the draws. The times are going to be released tomorrow, but they've done this in the past. So this is the last. What we did was we just went and looked at the participants, and then we went and looked at the ranking, and then we inserted it as is. Straight draw is what we assume to be. So interesting is, I don't know, Todd, if you watched the draw kind of change in shape. And there was actually 33, and then it went to 32, and then now we're at 31.
Mm-hmm.
So
so this draw looks at first glance to match what is in the LPRT's fantasy the fantasy bracket. So which anyone can enter, and you can compete against. You can make your own fantasy picks and compete against everybody else, and the winner gets, I believe, they get some LPRT swag. This looks accurate. And
Todd, the only reason we did it like this is so we could see it on one screen.
Yeah,
because if you do it long ways, it would be too small. So typically, in racquetball, I don't know why, we don't see draws like this.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Well, it's because we're generally looking at draws in our two sports, and they have their format, and it's been established for years. But so this is the draw. There's a couple of very important names that are missing out of this draw. We're missing 2 players in the top 10. Actually, I think we're missing 3 in the top 10.
Missing 3, and there's one big one, the biggest one, and I'll tribute you that. That's probably easy for you, but go ahead and tell us who's missing.
I mean, we're missing the currently ranked number 3 player on the tour, who's Maria Jose Vargas. She, as people know, is quite pregnant right now. She last played on the tour in May or June, and she's getting ready to have her kid, so she was not eligible. The big name for me missing is Montse Mia, who's currently ranked number 6, but who...
Mejia. Come on, boss. Get your Spanish better. It's Mejia.
I'm not good at Spanish. I took French in high school for some reason. There's only been 5 women that have won a tournament in the last 5 years on tour, and it's Longoria, Herrera, Vargas, Mejia, and Gabby Martinez. And 2 of those people are not in the draw, so that considerably thins the herd of potential winners. The third big name not present. Oh, and as I understand, Mejia is not present because she had a family obligation. That was a conflict.
Correct. Spoke to her today. You guys want to know what it was?
Yeah.
She's a god. She's a godmother. That's why we're here. We're here to tell
awesome.
us. She's a godmother, and her godchild is having. Monsi's awesome. And Todd, by the way, amazing. I couldn't agree more with you on that. That even though Vargas is the highest ranked, I think the big missing one because of the unknown of what she might do is Monty. I agree with that, and obviously the next one you're going to get to, which is
Rhonda.
Absolutely.
I'm looking up the participant. So on Pro Racquetball Stats, I have a few U.S. Open specific reports that you can run that are kind of fun. Rhonda has not missed the U.S. Open except for a couple times in her entire career, and she's played in nearly all of them. She missed the first 3 in 96, 97, 98, and she's basically been there every year since. She's not here. My understanding is because she's missed the last couple of pro stops. I think it's partly related to sponsorship issues, partly related to money issues. It's just one of those things in our sport.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. unfortunate. I noticed that too, Todd. That was one of the first things I did is I went to your website when I noticed that Ronda was missing, and I did the same thing you did, except I probably did it backwards in the long way. But I just went and looked at her history, and I went and looked at all her events, and I noticed that too. It's like that's really a big name, a big person missing.
Yeah, I mean, she's been at every event since '99. I mean, and that's just craziness.
Yeah, it just sucks when I hear that, it comes down to money, but let's be honest, that's why I'm not going, I'm not going to be there. It's hard to justify for me to be there. So it is what it is, but we're going to get through it. We're going to discuss these. Let's talk about the draws. Leo, I see a lot of chatter in the chat. People have questions. Well, they have questions about the Open itself. I think, Todd, again, I was going to ask you as a USAR board member, we know there are some things you can and cannot discuss. Obviously, you know more than most, so we won't put you in a bad position where you feel forced to. Don't feel bad if there's something you can or cannot talk about. That's up to you. Leo, and then our third-party producer, they might flash some chat stuff up there, but for now, let's keep it on the draw. Let's get through it. You guys ready? Let's do well, wait a minute. Leo or... Anyway, our producer back there, let's go right here. You ready? Let's do it. Let's start picking. Do it.
Well, I'm going to pick Longoria over Bai. I think that's pretty much of a shooting.
Todd knows how to play here at Beyond the Court, Leo. I like it.
Yep.
All right, who wants to go first?
You go first. Leo goes second. I'm going to go last always.
You want me to just go through the entire first round, or
I do. We do. Right. The fans want to hear what you have to say, and right. when you have your statistical reasons why, just don't go crazy. We pay for this Wi-Fi time. Give us.
All right.
Go for it. So let's start. Leo, where do you want him to start? Bottom or top?
Start at the top.
Go for it, Todd.
All right. Well, I think you got Longoria. I like Enriquez over Amaya. Even though the seating's not there, Enriquez was a mainstay in the top 10 up until she kind of started taking time off. But at the last event in Aguas
Calientes, that was awful. For everybody listening that speaks Spanish, as amazing and intelligent as he is, one of my smartest friends, book smart friends I know, his Spanish is bad.
Aguas Calientes.
Aguas Calientes. Anyway, go ahead.
That city 100 miles west of San Luis Potosí.
Okay.
Anyway, Enriquez beat Bonilla there. That's a big win. I think Enriquez wins that. Next on down, I think you got to go with the American Lawrence.
Whoa, slow down. So, Todd, here's how it works. You're going to give your first, then you're going to pass it off to Leo, and then I. We'll do each match. So you got Enriquez. Leo, you're up.
I'll make mine short and sweet. I'm gonna go with Christina Amaya.
One thing I know she will have there are coffee and T-shirts. I hope she's not overworked, over-traveled. She's traveling a ton. She's doing the best she can. Nancy's just rocking it down in Mexico. Always a competitor. I think that's a battle, and. I think the world of every one of these ladies playing, but I'm going to have to go with Todd on this one, and I'm going with Nancy Enriquez also.
All right. Next one, Todd.
Okay. I don't think there's much question that Kalani will take out Sunshine. I think a better question might be how many points Sunshine scores. I think she scored just a handful of points in her last couple of pro events. So no real question there.
Yep, I agree. I've seen Sunshine play at the tournament. I've seen her online. So, no, sorry. All about business for Kalani Lawrence. Team dovetail, Kalani.
Kalani in 2.
All right, next on down, Brenda will beat Linda. But Linda, Linda can get points. So this is not going to be a walkover for Laime. But I think Brenda will advance.
I played with Linda when she was much younger and before she was married and a mother. And Linda she's very, she's relentless and she will bring it. She's got the support of her husband now, Garrett. The girls are a little bit older now. Linda's been training, and as much as I want to go with an upset here, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler over Brenda Lime at the U.S. Open, and I'm going to put a little pressure on my friend Linda to play her best. Not that she needs it.
You know, Leo, I really I appreciate your loyalty. It's admirable. It's honorable. But with that said, and I know Linda is a scrapper. She could potentially be the scrappiest player in this draw. But with that said, Brenda Limey, Piti, also known as Piti, I don't know if you guys know that, but that's her nickname, Piti, P-I-T-I. I gotta go with Brenda Limey. You know, she's coming off of a final, Leo. She just beat Paola Longoria, and that's pretty impressive. So, Linda, yes, you're scrappy. Yes, you're gonna fight. Yes, we know this will motivate you. But Brenda Limey's gonna advance there. So, Leo, 2-1.
All right, next up, I think I don't think Mendez is going to be troubled by by Estefania Perez Picon.
That's all he got there. He got nervous, Leo. It was a Spanish name. He called it quits.
Now you're in my head. I mean, Estefania's pretty. You know, she's young. She's younger. She's kind of newer on tour. I haven't seen her get any notable wins yet. Whereas Mendez is number 4 for a reason. You know, she's very consistent. She usually is getting into the back end of these events.
Yeah, this will be a great match for Estefi. I know her whole family. Rosa, the mom, Alex, their youngest brother, who just posted a video. It's going viral on Facebook. And of course the middle sister Andrea, and then the older brother Jose. The whole family plays. But this is a great match for Steffi because she gets to play against the 4th best player in the world. And Steffi will have her hands full, but I think she'll handle it well. But Natalia will go in there and she'll take care of business.
That's pretty cool. How old is she? The junior, Leo? You guys seem to know her a lot better than I do.
Which Estefania?
Yeah.
She is, I would guess, probably maybe 18 or 19.
Awesome. I wish you the best of luck. These matches are important. You got to play. Any of you juniors out there, you know, male, female, it doesn't matter. Get out there. You got to compete. I'm going to go with Natalia Mendez, also known as Choca. Choca.
Okay. Next up, I don't think, so you're definitely going to have, Gabby's going to win this. I just wanted to give a shout out to Maria Paz-Riquelme, who used to play at my club in Arlington, Virginia, many, many years ago.
Leo?
Oh, my turn? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
For sure, Gabby Martinez. I mean, nothing more to be said about her. She's, this will just be the first round for her, and she'll go in there and she'll take care of business.
2018 world champion Ana Gabriela Martinez will win this. Maria Paz, Maripa, you're amazing. You're incredible. Your dedication. You work super hard. You do an amazing job, by the way, with the social media for LPRT. So keep that up.
She rocks it.
Yeah, she's doing a good job on site. Really, really well done there. But I got to go with Ana Gabriela Martinez from Guatemala to advance in that one.
All right. So next up, Camelia Rivero is another relatively young player.
She's watching. She's watching, Todd.
I don't. We don't have much fun. I know that she recently repatriated and she's representing a new country. And
which country? I didn't know that. Tell everybody.
Well, she was. She hails from Cochabamba, but she is now representing and playing for Colombia, which is a common thing that we see down in South America. I'm looking up. I want to give you her career best win to give you an idea of what she's capable of. And she does have a win over Linda Tyler. They met at the U.S. Open last year. Valeria, who also started in Bolivia and converted to the country.
Thank you, Leo.
Valeria.
Todd, it's Valeria. Valeria. Okay.
Valeria.
This is why I don't even try to pronounce these names when I'm broadcasting.
If you just signed on, everybody, we're just assisting Todd since he's always assisting us with many things. We're assisting him with some Spanish pronunciations, translation. So it's Valeria, or like Leo said, Valeria. The V sounds like a B. So go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
Never would. That was it. I'll just refer to these. I'll just refer to all players by seeds going forward.
No. Don't do that. That's not what we do here at Beyond the Court. We speak the truth. All right. So you're going Valeria there. What do you got, Todd? I mean, Leo.
Yeah. So I'll be watching that match for sure. Whatever time it is, I don't have the time in front of me. It'd probably be a Thursday morning match, but whatever it is, I'll be there because I think it's going to be kind of a sleeper match for some. I've seen Camila play. She's she has what it takes, and it'll be a good first round for Valeria. But I think Valeria will be ready. She's been training hard. I've been kind of keeping up with her, and this will be her day. So I'll go ahead and go with Valeria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, that's a good match. Everybody should watch that. That's one of those that I think that will go unnoticed, kind of like slide under the rug or the table. But watch that match. Camila can play, man. She can rip the ball. She's going to need this. Hopefully, her confidence will get up with this a little bit. But I can tell you this: Valeria, also known as, she is pretty motivated. There's reasons down there. She's representing Argentina. She's pretty motivated. It's going to be a good one, but I think I'm going with Valeria also. So I'm going to go with Vale, but I think Camila is going to play a great one, and I hope it's a really good match.
All right. So next you have Jessica Perea Leone versus Lexi York. So that's a tougher first round than she probably wanted. Lexi is tough. She doesn't play tour full time, but she does when she does play. She does win. I don't sense an upset here, but I think that this might that she might get pressed. That Leone will get pressed a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. There's a reason there's a number 5 next to Jessica's name. That is 5 in the world. And Lexi will have her hands full. She'll bring it. Lexi plays a lot of ball, with Sam and the boys. So she's, she can smack it around. She can get to a lot of ball. So give Jessica some fits, but I think Jessica she'll play smart, and I got Jessica in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Lexi's super athletic, and she's fluent in Spanish. So Jessica and crew will not be able to communicate or have their coaching stuff. Lexi's amazing. She actually teaches at a Spanish-speaking school over, I believe, in Oregon. And I was on the court with her in national doubles, Leo. Power's not going to bother her. She's fine. She's amazingly athletic. But Jessica's Jessica. And she's been there for a while. She's played big matches. I think she's looking forward to this. She seems like she's training and ready. And Todd, another Spanish lesson. It's not Leone. It's Leona. It's kind of like, it's like female lion. No worries, Leona, you're getting better. Hey, just think of how much help we're giving you tonight. You always help me, so I appreciate it. So I'm going with Jessica too, guys.
Maybe I should add a pronunciation column to the database and have them all plug in. That's
helpful. I would use it.
You click on it and it speaks the language.
An enunciator.
Yeah.
So Todd, Steve Castleberry said, if he keeps riding Todd, look for Sudsy's lifetime stats to go down after tonight.
We can edit that.
All right, so that's the top. Is that the top? Yeah, that's the top half. Let's go to the bottom, Todd. All you go, buddy.
All right, so I'm starting from the top right. So your number 2 player, Alexandra Herrera, is meeting up with the Canadian number 2 in Michelle Morissette. Interestingly, Michelle only has a handful of Pro Tour appearances in her life. And so there's not a lot of pro matches go on, but she plays and represents Canada very consistently. I don't see Alexandra losing until the final. I don't mean to bury the lead, but I think this draw really opens up for her.
Oh, and, Todd, Todd, goodbye, Todd. Thanks for coming. We'll see you later. Well, you just ruined it for everybody. Oh, yeah.
Don't watch the end of the movie. I'll just tell you.
I don't think I'm saying anything crazy here when I predict that the number 2 player is going to be, make it to the final. But yeah.
I think we all agree Leo Alexandra wins that match.
I think so too. I did get to see Michelle play one of her matches online. I watched the Canadian Nationals. I don't know much about her, but like I said, I've said before, these matches, when a lower ranked player is playing a really highly ranked player, I would hope that, they're up for the challenge and that Michelle will go out there and, give it her best. But definitely Alexandra.
All right. 3-0 Alexandra.
All right. Now we have an interesting one. Whenever I do these previews, your 16 versus 17, your 15 versus 18 are always interesting. And this is no different. The American Cheryl Lotz is facing up against the Bolivian junior Michaela Meneses.
Very good, Todd. That was actually pretty good. That might be your best pronunciation tonight. We're proud of you. Gary Wargo from Florida just signed on. He's probably proud of you.
If I try, I get them right. So these two met at your tournament, Sudsy, in February. A very comfortable win for Mika. She beat Lot 6 and 7. But Mika went through kind of like a weird spell and I got some little inside information from somebody where she was trying to change her strike mechanics. She was trying to change her grip. And so she just suddenly couldn't play. And if you look at her last few pro results, she was losing matches 0-1. So it's hard to say where she is now in that journey. In the meantime, Lotz has really impressed lately on tour. She's gotten some interesting wins lately. She's really pressed top players. So this will be a really interesting one for me. I'm going to go with the veteran Lotz though to win.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. This is one when the draws first came out. This is the only one in the draw where for me it's a pick 'em, and it's going to be tough. And it's a big match for both. You don't want to get bounced out of the first round. The LPR Pro, there's no qualifier. There's no drop down. There's no losers bracket. So this is a really big match, I think, for both of these girls. I know Cheryl's been to Florida and done some training with Vero and Sudsy. Mika's been competing. She's been playing junior nationals, adult nationals, international. So I think Mika's ready. I think she's starting to finally peak, and I'm going to go with Mika on this one.
And way to mention the fact that Cheryl Lotzi, she's come down and trained a little bit. It was great, and yeah, I got to go with Cheryl. I think Mika, Todd, she's right at it. She's been right there for a few years. We need to see something happen, and if she's going to do it, not only does she have her end, but then she's going to go up against the Herrera. So I really want to see what goes on. If you hear the kids screaming, there's a wicked storm going on.
Yep. Here comes the kid storm. All right, Todd, you want to keep rolling along with the next one?
All right, so next up, number 10, Samantha Salas Solis versus another American who's just, an American who's just kind of matriculated out of the junior ranks in Annie Roberts. I like Annie's game. I think that every time she plays an event, she improves. But I also think that Salas is going to be too tough to beat at this juncture for Annie and where her game is right now.
Yeah, big match for Annie also. She gets to play Samantha Salas, who it's kind of weird for me to see the number 10 next to her name. Samantha's always been a staple up in the top, 4 for me mentally seeing. So yeah, I think Samantha's going to go in there. She's going to come out shooting and firing like she always does. Trying to knock the front wall down. But Annie's been training, and she'll put up a good fight. But I think it'll be all Samantha on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Well said, Leo. I think it is weird, isn't it? Seeing Todd, for you too, seeing Samantha at number 10. But whatever. Yeah. I think Annie's somebody that's working real hard. She's doing all she can to get out there. She's I know she has a fundraiser going on, or like you can donate to help her. I think it's AnnieRoberts.com. I'm not exactly sure. Again, these athletes need help, is what it is. Sorry to keep bashing that down everybody's throat, but it just is what it is. And I I just think Samantha's a little too much, although Annie's kind of right there. Just needs a little bit more, needs a little bit more of who, what, where, when, how, why. And this match is a good match for her. But I'll tell you guys this right now. Would not shock me if it's a lot closer than expected. But I'm going to pick Samantha.
Good pick.
Okay. Next up, Carla Munoz, the longtime Chilean #1, versus Andrea Perez-Picon. So Andrea is got to be... Yeah, she has to hold the record for the youngest participant here. She just turned 14, so definitely a youngster competing against these pros. Carla should cruise right through this, and I don't see her being troubled too much by the junior from California.
Yep. As I mentioned earlier, Andrea is the younger sister of Estefania, also known as the Steffi. Andrea has a plan, and if you're at the U.S. Open and you get a moment, go up and talk to Andrea. She has a plan in racquetball, and I'll just tell you that her idol is Paola Longoria. So talk to Andrea, listen to her. She's going to start a high school program at her school. She's been training. She's doing everything she can to support racquetball. So I'm super excited that she gets to play on the biggest stage in the sport. I will for sure be there to watch that match. It'll be a big match for her against Carla, and you got to go with Carla, obviously. But I think it's pretty cool that these kids that train super hard and put all their focus and all their energy into this, get to show up at the U.S. Open and then get to play like a big name player like Carla. So, gotta go with Carla.
I absolutely love that. I had no idea that she was 14 years old. Hats off to you. I hear your idol is Paola. Pay attention. Pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to how she does it, what she does, when she does. Pick her brain, do everything you can. If you're listening or watching, that's how you can get to become the best. That's how I did it. I know that's how others did it. So hats off to you. I don't care. Carla's an amazing player. You need this for experience. Go out there, play hard, have fun. But if nothing else, learn and pay attention. And the only thing I wish you did have there, and Todd and Leo, that I wish you did have, was the portable court. But hey, maybe there's another time. All right. So I'm going to go with Carla on that one. Okay. But I love the fact that she's playing at 14. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, speaking of youngsters, next up we have the third seed in Erica Mania, who's going against a player who, as far as I can tell, unless I've made a typo in the data entry, she's making her LPRT debut, and that is Angela Veronica Ortega. She is either, I believe she's playing in her age 16 season. She made the semis of Junior Worlds in 16 and under last year, representing Mexico. And she also represented Mexico at the 2022 Pan American Racquetball Championships, which is pretty cool. She even got a win. She got a win over a Canadian in the round robin stage. So she might be a little starstruck, and she might be surprised by the power of Mania, who's got the most power on tour. So I see Erica moving on here.
Yep. Unfortunately, I don't have much information on Angela. Erica Mania, obviously we all know who she is. She's had an amazing year. This will be the first step on her journey, and I won't say to the finals yet, like Todd said about Alexandra. But I hope that Angela plays her best against Erica and gets everything she wants out of this match. But got to go with Erica Mania.
Yeah, Angela, don't play the person, don't play the country, don't play the seed, just play the ball. That's all I can tell you. Go play the ball. Don't worry about the name. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just play the ball. Ball bounces. Figure it out. Get out there. Swing. Have fun. But I'm going to have to pick Erica here. She needs to win that match.
All right. Next up, probably the third of three really close matches for me in this first round. You have number 14, Maria Rene Rodriguez, who's facing the Bolivian Jenny Daza Nava. So Jenny Daza is kind of an unknown to some people because she only gets to play a couple of pro events a year. But when she does play, and she plays a lot internationally, she gets wins. She, in the last handful of years, she's got wins over Vargas, wins over Munoz. She's got, she's got some impressive wins there. And I think Marie has her hands full. And I'm going to go with the upset, the Bolivian over Rodriguez.
Why are you shaking your head, Sets? Because he made.
I'm not shaking. I'm nodding. I'm impressed that Todd Boss is going with the upset. I like it. It's exciting. It's exciting. And for the record, this is nodding, this is shaking, and I was going just kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nod shake.
This is another pick'em for me because I've seen both of these ladies play. Like Todd said, Jenny Daza could be an unknown, but if you keep up with international and you go to the U.S. Open and you watch her, she's an amazing doubles player as well. This is a pick'em for me. But my loyalty lies with Team Dovetail, so I'm going to go with Maria Rene Rodriguez.
Well, it's funny it's funny you say that, and again, I do like your loyalty, as I said earlier. So we're talking Jenny Daza, Maria Rene Rodriguez, Todd. So my initial thought was I was picking Daza because I do know Daza. I've coached against her. I've seen her play big wins. She's a veteran. She's been out there a long time. She just doesn't get out to enough LPRT events. She knows how to win. She's super scrappy. She's one of those. She's one of those players. There's only a couple players, and Leo and Todd, you guys know this. Whether it's LPRT or IRT, there's always a name. You kind of look, hey, where did this person fall? And Jenny might be that person in this particular draw. But with that said, I think Maria Renee is just training a little more. She might be a little bit more confident. And for Leo's sake and his Team Dovetail loyalty, I'm going to go with Maria Renee. But Todd, my first initial pick was Jenny, and Veronica kind of swayed me the other way. So I'm going to go Maria Renee there.
All right. So next up, Holly and Adrian Fisher-Haynes. So American versus American. Adrian was one of the most decorated junior players in the history of our game. But is a part-time player right now. She's trying her hand at pickleball. And meanwhile Holly has really stepped it up. She's got her ranking up. She's got her sitting up to 11 here. She's ranked 14, 15. Holly will move on here.
Ooh, I want to call this a pick'em, but I can't because I just don't think that Adrian has been playing enough racquetball, but she could be. And I don't want this to get back around to Adrian because then she'll come up and she'll smack me upside the head. But Adrian is tough. I think she, coming all the way up through the junior program, coming right into the pros. Adrian is a baller for sure. I would pretty much bet you that Holly is not going to take Adrian lightly. So Holly will have to come out, and she'll have to come out all in as well. And Team Dovetail, Holly Scott will move on.
Todd, how many players do they have over there at Team Dovetail? It seems like it's constant. I keep seeing Team Dovetail.
Yeah, they got a slew.
Are you putting that in Pro Racquetball stats yet?
I do have a place in the profile for other sponsors, and so I try to keep up. But I should do a better job.
20 Team Dovetail players. Wow. So I'm a little distracted because I just watched my buddy Aaron Judge here fly out. So he still hasn't gotten the 61. So he just flew out. I got to go with Holly Ray Scott. First and foremost, because her middle name is Ray, and that is my son Derek Ray's middle name. And Holly's been balling. Yeah, I mean, you got to go with it. She goes R-A-E. Derek is R-A-Y. Holly's just, she's playing more. I think, Adrian's more of a mom. She's super busy over there. Like you said, Todd, I did not know the pickleball thing. That's pretty cool. Leo, pickleball.
I'm not surprised Adrian's good at it.
Yeah, me neither. Let's not get into pickleball because this is a racquetball show. We'll talk pickleball later. Todd doesn't have his stats yet for pickleball, but we'll get back to that. So I'm going Holly Ray Scott over Adrian.
All right, last round of 32. Angelica Stephanie Barrios, who is playing the Costa Rican junior national champion Maria Cruz Ortiz, who is playing in her 18 and under season. As good as Ortiz is on the junior national circuit, and when she gets to junior worlds, she's going to make some noise. Barrios is way too tough and too consistent of a player to lose at this juncture.
Yep, I agree. Angelica Barrios, she'll be coming in hot and ready to go. She's also on a mission, I think, here at the U.S. Open. So I think she'll come in here and she'll give Mari Cruz all she wants, and it'll be just too much on Angelica for this one. So I'm going with Barrios.
Speaking of loyalty there's no doubt that on paper Barrios is the favorite here, and she is supposed to win it. But Mari Cruz, it's not Maria, Todd, it's Mari Cruz. It's Mari Cruz Ortiz, and she's from Costa Rica. I got to go with Mari Cruz in the upset. That's loyalty right there, Leo. I'm going Mari Cruz Ortiz with the big upset over Angelica Barrios. She can hit the ball as hard as anybody. I would say as hard as Erica Mania, if not a close second. She just has to keep it off the back wall and not skip the ball, Mari. All right, so guys, we got through that. Now here's the plan, because this is obviously taking a lot of time, which I don't mind. We're just going to make our picks moving on to the next round, and we'll go up and down like a snake version. So Todd, you're gonna announce your 16s into the quarters, into the semis, into the finals, and then Leo, you'll do the same, and then I'll do the same, and then we'll start with our final preview. Does that make sense? Yep. So Todd, you're gonna take us through to the final with your picks.
All right. So I've got Longoria over Enriquez. I've got Limeade beating Lawrence in an amazingly good match. I've got Gabby upsetting Mendez by seed, though not really by where they stand. And I have Centellas beating Correa. That's going to be a tough one. On the other side, Herrera cruises past Lutz. I've got Munoz beating Salas, which is going to be they've split the last 4 or 5 times that they've played, so that's a tough one to really predict. Mania Daza, oof. Wouldn't surprise me if Mania gets beat here, but I'm going to go Mania. And then I think Barrios beats Scott. Now, in the quarters, Longoria beats up with Limey again. I don't think Limey's going to beat her twice in a row. I got Longoria to there. I got Gabby over Centellas to make the semis. So now your semis on one side are going to be Longoria and Gabby. On the other side, I think Herrera cruises past Munoz, and I believe that Barrios upsets Mania. So your semis on the other side are Herrera and Barrios. Longoria and Herrera in the final. Longoria wins.
All right. So I'll go next. I'm going to start over with, obviously, Paola Longoria over Christina Amaya. I'll go with Kaylani over Linda Tyler. I'll have Natalia over Gabby. And then at the bottom my screen is blocked. My admin screen is blocking my bottom pick.
There it is. Maria Centellas.
Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to go with Padilla on that side. And then back up to the top, Herrera over Mika. I've got Samantha over Carla. I've got Erica over Maria Renee. And I've got Holly Scott over Angelica Barrios. I'm looking for reactions from Sudsy, and I'm not quite.
Well, wait, but you didn't give us your semi. You have to go all the way to the finals. So
I'm
give
going
us your
back over. Yeah, I'm going back
Okay,
over.
okay.
Yeah. So then I will obviously have Paola Longoria over Kehlani Lawrence. I will have Natalia Mendez over Jessica Padilla. And then on the other side, I will have Alexandra Herrera over Samantha Salas. I will have Erica Mania over Holly Scott. And then back to the other side, obviously, the champ will be back in the finals. On the other side, I'm going to call an upset with Erica Mania over Alexandra Herrera. And then the showdown, once again, Paola versus Erica. And Paola will wrap it up and win herself another U.S. Open.
Todd, we'll come back to you. I'm going to run through this quick. I'm going to have Paola Longoria beating Nancy Enriquez to get to the quarterfinals, where she will play, in my opinion, one Brenda Limey. She's going to have a amazing match with Kehlani Lawrence in the 16s. I then have Paola advancing to the semifinals. Natalia Mendez, also known as Choca, will play Gabby Martinez in the 16s. I have Gabby Martinez advancing into the quarterfinals, where she will face a Jessica Perea, who she's going to beat Valeria in the 16s. And then I have Gabby beating Jessica to get to the semis, where it will be a showdown of the 2018 World Championship Finals. I believe it will be Paola versus Gabby in one semi. So Gabby Martinez, Paola. The other way, let's go the other side. Alexandra Herrera over Cheryl Lotz to get to the quarterfinals. Samantha Salas and Carla Munoz. That's a tough one for me, guys. Todd, I did not know. You said they split their last few times, huh?
Yeah, so Samantha's 17-2 lifetime over Carla.
Okay.
But two of those wins are in the Carla's two wins are like two of their last four meetings.
Wow, that's super interesting. Okay. I did not know that.
Can we give away a shirt?
Yeah, we can. But let me
I want to get people to put their picks though. Who's going to win the LPRT singles finals? Put your pick in the comments, and then when the U.S. Open is over, you guys know we go back through there. Whoever your pick is, if there's 20 of you, then we'll have to pick a winner out of that. But put your pick in the comments. Who's going to win?
For sure, I like that. Well, you know what, guys, I'm gonna kind of take the easy way out, and I'm just gonna put Alexandra Herrera into the semis over there. Is that okay? Or do I have to pick somebody, Carla Samantha? That's a tough one. I'll get back to that. Erica Mania over Maria Renee. Sorry, Team Dovetail. Sorry, Leo. So she'll be in the quarters. And I believe, actually, Angelica Barrios there. And I think Angelica Barrios will be in the semis against Alexandra Herrera. So my four semifinalists are Herrera, Barrios, Longoria, Gabby Martinez. So I'll fast forward that. Man, that's tough. Todd, can you do yours first, and then I'll come back to mine?
Well, Sudsy, you and I have the exact same four semifinalists in Longoria, Herrera, Barrios, and Gabby.
That's because you know things.
So we're on the same page. We're on the same page there.
All right, so give me the finalist and your winner. Go.
I mean, it's 1 versus 2. I hate to go chalk. I love calling upsets, especially in the men's side. But I think Longoria beats Alexandra 11-9 in the breaker.
All right, I'm going Longoria over Gabby Martinez 11-10 breaker. Because Gabby's a dear friend, but so is Paola. But I'm gonna go. Paola gets to the finals on a mission, and I agree. I think if Alexandra's healthy and she's balling and playing, I think she wants to get to that final. I think it's the final everybody wants to see. Paola and Alexandra. Is it truly a rivalry? I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't think it's a rivalry at this point, but
yeah.
No, I feel like Alexandra's taken a step back since those two wins. Right after those two wins, Paola handled her in the Mexican national final, has beaten her since. In the meantime, Herrera's had a couple of weird losses. She got hurt. She came back. Yes, Longoria lost to Brenda for the first, that loss in the quarters was the first time that she failed to get past the quarters since 2008 on tour. I mean, just a pretty amazing stat. So are there chinks in the armor? Yeah, I think so. But this is also the U.S. Open. This is the biggest tournament. Maybe not the biggest by money and for the ladies right now because of the generosity of Randy Root. But, this is, when you write Longoria's Wikipedia page, the first sentence is going to say she finished her career with X number of U.S. Open titles. So this is the one she wants. This is one she'll win.
I agree. Paolo is my winner also. Leo, you're up, buddy. Pick your winner.
I gave my picks already. I jumped the gun. Sorry. You guys,
all right.
But yeah, definitely.
You got Paola.
Yeah, Paola's going to win again. I mean, and look, when we decided to do this preview, I try not to bet with my heart, but there's no portable court here, and that court plays different than any other court in the world, and that is why I feel like in this environment, it's just a little bit different. This isn't a court where, look, remember the women didn't get much showtime on the court in the past. They played on a regular court, regular meaning either panel or concrete. This portable court, this championship court plays unlike any other court in the world. So I just felt like the matchups could be a little bit more even, on this type of a court.
So here's a wrinkle for you to think about. Speaking of, so the facility at the University of Minnesota is going to have 2 show courts, right? So they have 2 courts towards the back, which are glass back and side. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you're standing in the middle, one of them is going to be essentially where the ladies pros feature, and the other one's going to be where the men's pros feature. I bring this up because depending on which of those courts, you're either a righty with your glass on the forehand or your glass on the backhand, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say, and I don't know which side is going to be which, but let's just say for the sake of argument that the ladies are on the court with the glass on the right-hand side.
Which is, by the way, for the record, because I've been there, I know, Leo, you've been there too, I think that's where the ladies will be.
Well, then that puts backhands for righties on the glass and the forehand for your lefty and Alexandra. Do you think that makes a difference? Do you think that factors into like the tail end of a match? I don't know.
Yes and no. I don't. I think the ladies are pros. They've been on both sides, but that's definitely a good point, Todd. I mean, just as an example, when I'm playing doubles, I prefer the glass on the right side, but not because I don't like hitting off the left side glass. I like my ball to travel into the glass to the people on the right side. So I guess it just depends. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm with Leo. I think that court changes everything. Hopefully we'll get that court back next year. And we'll talk about that after. But right now, I think we all picked the same, kind of boring, maybe not. Maybe everybody in the chat can, give your opinions. We love seeing it. Leo is the master follow-upper. Mike Coulter just texted me, so I text him to come back in. Maybe we can split this up real quick with the 3-wall ball. So if he comes in, guys, we'll bring Coulter in for a few minutes just to give us that update. But other than that, I think it's time we get right to the men's. What do you guys think? Oh, there's Mike. Let's bring Mike in right now. Mike, can you hear us?
He's in slow motion again.
No way. Oh, man.
Someone said earlier, I can't remember who, that they think it might be a Wi-Fi setting, that's limiting his streaming capability.
Yeah, but he's done this many times. God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you. And Mike, obviously, we don't control this.
It's moving kind of slow. I can see his head kind of moving.
All right. Sorry, Mike. We're going to go on to the men's here. We'll try to get back to you later. All right. Let's do it. You want to do a quick commercial?
Yeah, let's do one.
All right, let's do Jules. Let's let Jules say hi, Todd. Don't move. We'll be right back in 20 seconds. And we're going to talk about the men's and the big news, which is Kane Wazelenchuk is not playing. He is not in the draw. All right, Jules, this is your time. What do you got?
So we
exist. Racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play.
Play racquetball.
All right, we are back, and I do hear a little background noise. Anybody hear that? What is that?
Let me see if it's coming from you.
I hear little kids.
I think it is him.
No, it's not me. There's no kids back here now. Let's see.
Let me mute myself. Let me mute myself and tell me if it stops.
Nope. Todd, do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear kids. I thought.
Oh, I can hear it from Todd. So I just muted Todd.
It was Todd. What is that? Is it the fan? Air condition? It's kind of like or maybe are you guys doing a little, maybe landscaping late at night in that beautiful neighborhood? All right, last time, I promise. I just hate to. All right, let's bring up the men's. Here we go. Let's do it. What do we got?
All right. Well, how do you want to do this? You want to. So we don't know who the qualifiers are going to be necessarily. Because we grabbed this. Yeah, I don't suspect. So I believe it's hard to project what the round of 32s are going to look like. I bring this up because there are a couple of players in the 17 to 24 range that I think are going to be impactful in this tournament. But we'll get to that when we get there. So for the time being, I'm just going to go chalk, with these qualifiers, so that we can start talking about a projected round of 16.
Yeah, it's tough not knowing who the qualifiers are because they're obviously. I see, the top 16, and when Kane came out, Rodrigo Montoya came in, so that should tell you how deep that talent can go. I don't see Javier Mar on this list, which means he's also a qualifier.
Yeah, but according to the rankings, I think I had Mar. He would go into Acuna in the first round.
Oh my goodness.
So Mar. Assuming that, okay, so below Montoya, he is ranked 17th but seeded 16th. Assuming that everyone else shows up, you're going to have the number 17 seed being Sebastian Patata Fernandez, the number 18 seed being Eduardo Garay, and the number 19 seed being Javier Mar. The number 20 seed, who plays into number 13, is Eric Trujillo. And then there's some other names that are in the 20 to 30 range that could be significant, but the guys that I just mentioned, I think, are the ones that are going to be interesting to mention here. So let's just talk about those for round of 32. So Montoya has to play Patata. That is a tough match. Those are two of the most athletic guys on tour. They're going to be flying all over the court. Montoya, of course, relies on power, but Sebastian relies on athleticism, and so that's a total coin flip for me.
I'm going to go with Montoya. I like Sebastian Fernandez, Leo, trains with Alvi, but I think Montoya's been playing great. So I'm going to go Montoya. What do you think?
Yep. I'm going to agree wholeheartedly. Rodrigo Montoya, for sure.
So next up, your number 18 seed, who plays in the number 15, which is Thomas Carter, will be Eduardo Garay. Now that's a tough matchup for Carter. Garay, hasn't had a ton of success on tour necessarily. He hasn't made. I don't think he's ever even made as far as a pro semi. But I think that he can upset Carter at that spot and move on to the qualifier.
Next pick, I got to go with Mario Mercado.
Nope, he said Garay and Carter was the one he was asking about.
Yeah, I'm just reading a few of the round of 32s.
Yeah,
see, we don't have access to that. Garay and Carter. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's a toughie because Tommy Tommy's tips.
What?
Yeah, he does an instructional. He used to do an instructional, and I used to watch it, and I liked it. And Tommy knows the game, and he came in and he beat Eric Garcia at the intercollegiate. Basically, and so I think with that and me kind of seeing what Thomas can do and him playing big matches, I'm going to go with Thomas Carter over.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so your number 19 seed, who plays into 14, which is Alvaro, is Javier Mar, and that spells trouble for Alvi, unfortunately. Mar is far better than a 19 seed. As we all know, he made the final in Maryland. He's gotten big wins before. He's made the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open a couple times, and Alvaro, he's going to hate it that he hears that I'm predicting that I'm picking against him once again. But I think Mar is going to kind of run roughshod over a hobbled Beltran at that juncture.
Yeah, Leo, I'm just going to, Todd, you're going to do this, and then we're just going to give picks because there's only one or two qualifiers, Todd, that I feel can actually change the outcome of my quarterfinalists. So you go ahead. I think it's great. I think you should inform everybody. You obviously have the numbers, the players, the matchups. If you say anything that we find utterly ridiculous, I don't think Leo and I need to comment. And by the way, Leo, should we raffle off this Shark shirt? I love it. Check out the Shark shirt, or just sign it and give it away.
Yeah, we'll put it in one of the picks.
I got this for a special occasion, and this is the second time I'm wearing it, and it's pretty cool. All right, Todd. Todd, go for it. Let's go. Run it down, and then Leo and I will jump in when we don't like what you say.
All right. De La Rosa Montoya is a brutally difficult matchup for De La Rosa at that juncture. I don't think he's going to lose, but he has lost to Montoya in the past.
How many times? Or the last time he's beaten him.
I knew you were going to ask me this. I should have had it.
All right, go find that. Here it is, my upset of the event. I'm picking Montoya over DLR. Daniel, you're a beast. You're a machine. But I think his focus right now is a little bit spread out. But he's so talented. He could still win. That's the problem, Leo. It wouldn't shock me if Daniel wins in 2. But I don't know why. I think I'm gonna go Montoya here as a huge upset over De La Rosa here. I'm gonna pick him. That's the upset of the tournament. Daniel's got pickleball. He's got his business. He's got life. He's got a lot of things going on. I would love to see him win, but that's my pick. That's my upset of the event. What do you guys think?
So they've played 8 times across pros and Mexican nationals. Daniel's beaten him 6 out of those 8. But Montoya beat him 3 and 9 in Chicago 2019. I mean, that's just a domination. So the talent is there. He's capable of getting that win. But I think Daniel wins that at that juncture.
It's okay to change your picks once you hear the record. Daniel De La Rosa is the number 1 player in the world. He won the U.S. Open last year, and Daniel De La Rosa, like Todd said about Alexandra, will not lose until he gets to the final. I'll say that.
Wow. So Leo, Leo just gave it up for us, Todd. All right.
I'm not saying that.
All right. Ooh.
He said it about Alexandra. Don't forget, he said it about her.
All right. In your next 16, your 8-9 match is Jake versus Mercado. They faced each other 5 times. It's 3-2 for Jake. The last time that they met was in the Pan American Racquetball Championship, so internationally, and Jake handled him very badly, actually. But then the time before that was at 21 Worlds, and Mario beat Jake. So they kind of been going back and forth. I like Jake right now. I think that Jake's a little more consistent and beats Mario at this juncture.
Yep, Beast Made backyard. It's right in his hometown. 15 minutes up the road. Jake will be playing basically at home. And it's early in the tournament, but Jake will still bring it. And I like Jake in this one over Mario.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jake as well. I think that'll be a battle. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Fun to watch, but Jake's home. He's training. He's comfy. I think he was pissed that he didn't get to go to the World Championships, but also happy for his brother. So I got Jake getting into the quarterfinals with a really good match against Mario.
Okay. All right, your 413, Lalo Portillo versus Carlos Keller Vargas. These two have never met at any juncture. This will be their first meeting. They play very similarly. They're both kind of tall, lanky guys. I just think that Lalo's better at their shared game style right now. He's coming in hot. He's coming off a win, and I think Portillo moves on here.
Yep, big energy coming in from Lalo. Won his first IRT stop. But you can't forget Carlos Keller, finalist of the U.S. Open last year. Carlos is definitely up for the challenge. This match could go either way for me. I think it's just going to depend on. I mean, I know it sounds like a cliche, but who wants it more? Who's hungrier? And that's going to be determined by those two guys right there. So I got to go with my heart, and I got to go Team Dovetail, Lalo Portillo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's a pilot. Carlos Keller, Carlitos, as we also know him. I think he's phenomenal. He has all the talent in the world. I'm just not sure where he's at. Guys, one thing we're not talking about, the elephant in the room, and I know that I felt this as a player. I wonder who and how players will be affected by the lack of that U.S. Open aura, the portable court, getting in there and having that feel, because it will affect certain players and it will affect them differently. So I'm curious to see how it's going to affect certain players. We won't know. Maybe when it's over, we can interview some people. But I can tell you this, it was the easiest event for me to get up for, especially, walking into that stadium court. So, with this one, Lalo, Carlitos, Lalo's playing well. He's playing confident. I got to go with Lalo too.
Okay. All right. In your 5-12, Landa has now slipped to 5 after peaking at number 1 a couple years ago, and he faces his nemesis in Andres Acuna. These guys have had some famous battles. They've had accusations of hitting each other on purpose and fights on the court and yada yada yada.
Not accusations.
Acuna has been up and coming and rising, but he just took a really bad loss in the lead-up event to this. Losing to Zalata in the first round in Maryland. But then he made the final of the World Games and beat a couple of really good players back in Birmingham earlier this summer. I think Landa wins this. Landa should win this, and a focused Landa is not going to get distracted and take a loss to Acuna like he has in the past.
Yep, this could be the match of the round in that round. This is one you don't miss. When the times are released, make sure that you get a seat. If you haven't bought one, you better buy one. You better sit down, and you better watch this match because there is a lot on the line for both of these guys. This is still early in the tournament. This is only the round of 16. They want to get bounced out in the 16s. Todd mentions, Andreas taking that loss. Does he have something to prove? Absolutely. But hopefully, we'll see Alex Landa come out and show us why, he is and was one of the best players still in the world. He was ranked as high as 1 and 2. He's flirted with that. So I think Alex Landa gets it done over Andreas.
Todd, what has Acuna done since that World Games Alabama event?
He has. Why don't we pull it up?
So I think the answer while you're pulling that up is not much, and I think he will win. He works hard. He deserves a lot of respect for that. But I think Alex is going to get through that as well.
So his 2022 so far, 16's loss to Perea, 16's loss to Kane. Then at the Park event in Santa Cruz, Bolivia, he made the final. Beat Keller in the quarters, beat Landa in the semis, loses to Moscoso in the final. Two 16s, round of 16 losses in pro events. Then he goes to World Games, beats Gunhi, Salvatierra, beats Mercado in the semis, beats Montoya in the final. That's a good win. Then he goes to Worlds, and he makes it to the semis where he loses to Rocky in a 5-game thriller. And then we're back to the Pro Tour, and he loses to Zalata 13-12 in the opening round. So kind of, he's Oh, and by the way, also in Worlds, he took a curious loss in the round robins to Ecuadorian Ugalde. So not as dominant as you would want. You would want a little more consistency there, and that's one of the reasons that I think Landa is not going to be troubled here.
Can I fast forward? My semifinalist will be Alex Landa. He'll beat Lalo in the quarters. No offense, anybody, but I got Lalo in the quarterfinal. I got Alex in the semifinals, coming out of the 4-5 spot.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Because you're wrong.
I'm a line jumper.
All right. Let's go up to the top of the right. Paria is going to be facing, in my view, Garay in there, and I think Paria moves on handily over Garay. I think he's not going to be troubled by Garay.
Agreed.
Where are we at? I'm sorry.
I agree.
We're at the top right, number 2 versus the 2-15 match, which I think will actually be 2-18.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got Andre Paria for sure. I'm doing my fantasy draw, so it's.
Whoa, no. Don't do that. Todd and I are going to do it together, and majority wins. So don't do your LPRT. We're going to go in as a team. Like Leo, Todd, Sudsy, or LTS. Make picks live on the air, and majority wins. So don't do that yet, because I know you have that. You can pull it up, all right? All right, Todd, get on there.
All right. Your next match is your 7-10, Rocky Mania. Man, I think this is a toss-up. I really want to pick Mania. I think the Mania has been playing really well, but then again, this is Rocky, and Rocky is rested. And when Rocky is rested and he has time between matches, he can really do some damage. Rocky beat Mania at national singles in May, kind of handily, frankly. So I'm going to go Mania here in an upset.
Okay. Yeah, it would be, it would be an upset in some ways. Rocky, obviously one of the most, well-known athletes in the sport of racquetball, but this is the U.S. Open. This is when you can make a name. This is when you can really show people, that you can play these big matches. But I don't know if it's time yet for Adam, because Rocky is so good inside that court, and it really doesn't matter who it is, honestly, than Kane. And Rocky has been the second best player for many years now. Yeah, he's kind of slipped down the rankings, but I don't know if Rocky exits this early against Adam. So I'm gonna go with Rocky.
Leo, that's really well said, and I agree with you. I'm real hard, but another player right now that currently, because of the state of the financial situation, they're doing so many things. They're so spread out. Adam's doing a ton of he's running events, and it's unfortunate that he can't just 100 ball player he can be. And I think that, I think you just said, I agree.
What were you going to say, Todd?
Fun fact about Rocky. He has been to every single U.S. Open except for the first one.
Like me, Rocky. Why weren't you there? I was, and that's, I heard about it. I'd seen it, and I didn't go. And then everybody went, and my friends from Dallas at the time all came back and said it was for real. Everybody was there. All the pros were there. That court was there, and I haven't missed one since.
All right, so we got 2 more 16s to talk about.
All right.
Number 3, Sam Murray versus number 19, Javier Mar, who I believe will advance past Beltran. So this is a rematch of the semis in Maryland, where Mar beat him 13-13 in a pretty solid, close match. And honestly, I think Mar's going to beat him again. I think Mar moves on to the quarters at this juncture.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if Javier can get past Alvaro. I want to say that he can, but he is the the Mexican magician, the Mexican monster. I mean, he's earned himself all kinds of titles, and I think he still gets it done. But even then, we're talking about Sam Murray, and Sam Murray, to me, and I've watched a lot of Sam Murray balls, he is the best fundamentally sound guy on the tour, I think, right now. I love watching him play, and I think Sam Murray gets it done in this one.
Sam Murray is quietly becoming one of my favorite players. That old school. I have not much to say. I want to ball. I want to talk. You're not my friend. I don't like to talk, so I just want to hit the ball. I got to go Murray here, man. I think he's real. I'm really enjoying it, and I've been on the court with him a few times. I got to be honest. I enjoy it. He's doesn't mind contact. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, your last matchup down here will be 6-11. So we're talking Conrado Moscoso versus Sebastian Franco. I love Sebastian. He's a local guy to where I used to play a lot in Maryland. But Conrado will cruise past him at this juncture to get into the quarters.
Yep, I agree. It'll still be a fun match to watch. Sebastian will bring his best his game against Conrado, but I think it'll be too much Connie at this point. So I'll take Conrado Moscoso.
Yeah, Connie's birthday is actually tomorrow. I say it all the time. I'll say it again. I think he's the second most talented and gifted racquetball player on the planet, behind Kane Wazelenchuk, who is not in the draw for anybody that is joining us late. So I'm going to go Connie cruising in that one.
All right, so we have our quarters, except that we all have to disagree on who's in your quarters.
Well, you go first, Todd. Who's your quarterfinals, and then we'll follow it up.
I mean, all right. So I've got 1 versus 8, Daniel De La Rosa over Jake in that first quarter. Do you want me to do all my 4 quarters since we're all kind of spread around here?
Yes.
All right. In my second quarter, on the bottom right there, it's 4 versus 5, and I've got Lalo beating Landa in that quarter to make it to the semis. My reasoning for that is I just watched with my own 2 eyes Lalo completely dismantle Landa in Maryland. Landa had no answers for Lalo's game, and I don't see any reason why it'd be any different 2 weeks on. In the third quadrant above, you were talking Paria versus, in my view, Mania. But even if it's Paria versus Carson, I like Paria there. Paria is not going to be scared of Carson. He's beaten him in the past. And if it's Paria versus Mania, then Paria will just, he'll scrap through that. Then in that final quarter, what's interesting to me about the men's tour right now is it's all about matchups. And you can say that Moscoso is, your second most talented player in the world. However, if it's Murray versus Moscoso, if it's 3-6, Murray's winning that. Murray's beaten him 4 out of the 5 times they've played. Murray has a game plan. Murray absolutely crushed him in Maryland. And I don't see a reason why it wouldn't happen again. However, I don't think it's going to be Murray there. I think that's Moscoso versus Mar, which is a completely different matchup. And I don't think Mar can beat Moscoso. So if it's like I think, I've got Moscoso in the semis over Mar.
All right, I'll start at the top with my 4, Daniel De La Rosa and Jake Bredenbeck. That match will be fun to watch for everybody. Like I said, we'll be in Jake's backyard, but I just still feel like Daniel De La Rosa is the man to beat. Everybody is coming for him. They know that he's number 1. They know that he won last year. So Daniel will bring his game for that, and I like Daniel over Jake. I have Alex Landa and Lalo Portillo as well. I just feel like Alex can bounce back from that loss that he took from Lalo. I don't even think he's going to bounce back from it. I think he's forgotten about it. I think Alex will definitely he's going to take this one. You know, it's kind of a pick 'em for me because I know Lalo is coming in with some great energy. He knows what it takes to win, you know, to play on Sunday or Saturday night. But I'm still going to go with Alex on this one, and it's tough for me to go against my teammate Lalo. All right, on the bottom or on the other side, I've got Rocky Carson and Andre Parilla. This will be a fun one to watch too, just because of the disparity in the age group. You know, Racquetball's Iron Man, Rocky Carson. He's going to look good out there. He's going to do everything he can. He's going to pull every trick out of the bag. And I won't even bring some of those up. But it'll be fun to watch. It'll be a long match for sure. But I think Andre Parilla gets it done over Rocky. And then in my other matchup, Sam Murray and Conrado Moscoso. Man, what a matchup, huh? This is going to be a fun one to watch. You won't want to miss it. This is just going to be a great match. It's going to be a long one. It'll be a grind. I'm gonna go with Sam Murray into the semifinals. Are we stopping there? Or are we keeping going? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, we just got to our semis.
Okay, go ahead, Teds.
All right, I'll do this. I'm gonna go with Jake Bredenbeck in that 1-8 spot. I think I'm hoping for this event. He's going to be home in Minneapolis. Something what most think's going to happen. Also, by the way, yes, court. I left this out earlier. I think Daniel is one of those players that might be a little less enthused and excited. And I could see Jake in those courts a bunch of times. I got Jake getting to the semis over there. I think Alex let me in that 4-5 slot. Lalo, congrats on your last win. I text. Let me tell you, it's nice to win one, but to win two, that's super impressive. Leo, I'm going to fix my audio before I get to the other side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, Todd, to see how Lalo comes in, you know, after his win. You know, I'm sure he's going to be fighting a wave, coming in knowing that he has confidence. So can't wait to see him in person and see, you know, kind of read in person and see how he is.
All right, the 2-7 quarterfinals. You got Andre Parilla, Rocky Carson, Chad Bailey. I agree with you. I think Rocky's going to come out here. I think he's fresh. He's excited to play. The only thing is, Leo, Todd, I don't know if you know this, he is playing Centurion with a sponsor friend, Jerry Hall. So he's kind of got that other division. I don't want to say it's meaningless. It means a lot for sure. But I know if I was playing in the U.S. Open to win the U.S. Open singles title, there is no chance I'm playing any other division. That's first and foremost. So, but I'm going to go with Rocky in that semi. And then you got Sam Murray, Conrado. Man, Todd, you know this one hurts for me because I think the world of Conrado and Connie. But I also, Sam's slowly, quietly becoming one of my favorite players. I'm hoping it's an absolute battle. And I'm going to go Conrado gets into the semis. It's tough, though, because I rarely pick against them. And a lot of times, as you know, Todd, I've been wrong. And I think the kids agree because I can hear them in the background, too, guys. Sorry about that. So my semis are, I'm going to go Jake and Alex Landa, Rocky Carson, and Conrado Moscoso. Todd, you take it from there.
So my semis are De La Rosa, Portillo on one side, and Parilla Moscoso on the other. Here's where I think that De La Rosa gets upset. I think that Portillo gets the upset over De La Rosa to make the U.S. Open final. On the other side, if it's Moscoso Parilla, I think Moscoso cruises past Parilla to get to that final as well. So my final is Portillo and Moscoso.
All right, at the top, I've got Daniel De La Rosa and Alex Landa. What a semifinal this will be. You know, it's my fantasy bracket. I get to pick it. You can't ask for a better matchup right here. This will be everything that we want to see between these two, and I am going to continue to ride the DLR train all the way to the finals. As I said earlier in the show, Daniel will go on to the finals at the top, and then the bottom I've got Murray and Parilla. these are two of the best that are left in the bottom for me. These are fun, but they're also tough. And the level of play is definitely rising, and these two will definitely do that. I'm just curious to see who will have an answer, and my heart tells me that I'm going to go with Sam Murray to make it to the finals against Daniel De La Rosa.
Tough to argue. We'll all pick our winners after, but I'm going to tell you that I got Alex Landa, number 5 seed, Jake Bredenbeck, number 9. Is he 9 or 8? 8 or 9? Yeah, I think, I think it's just going to be something surprising. I think there's a lot of factors. I think we'll see Alex and Jake in that semi, and I'm going to pick Alex to win that. He'll be confident. Jake will put up a fight. Hopefully he'll have some other Viking friends there watching, making loud noises, drinking kegs of beer, enjoying it. Skol, it's Minnesota homecoming. Leo, send me a report. I won't be there. Can't wait to see. So I have Alex Landa from the top half getting into the final. And then you got Conrado Moscoso, Rocky Carson. I just think Conrado's a little bit too much for my buddy Rocky right now. He's a lot to handle with that power. And my final is Conrado Moscoso, also known as Teocani. Happy birthday tomorrow, Conrado. And Alex Landa. That's my final. So, Todd, who's your pick to win this year's U.S. Open?
Moscoso. I think Moscoso beats Lalo Portillo in the final. They've played.
Go ahead.
They've played twice before. Both times they were tiebreaker wins for Conrado. But they were weird scores. Like in Georgia in 2021, Conrado beat him 15-2, then 14-15 against, and then 11-2. So, what do you take away from that? But Lalo's probably going to keep it close, probably be a breaker, but Conrado wins.
Yeah, I know we all have our different picks. My semifinalists have all won Tier 1 events. So experience won't be a factor for any of them. People forget about Sam Murray. They forget he has won a Tier 1, and that's why he and Daniel De La Rosa will be in the finals. And, I think that Daniel gets it done. He has just as much to prove as anybody else in this draw. I just feel like even though, you can say he's got pickleball and he's got all these things going on, the number one goal, I think, for Daniel De La Rosa has always been to defend that U.S. Open title. And Suds, that as well as anybody. Like you say, you win one, but this is a different scenario. The U.S. Open, to me, regardless, without the show court, it is a special club. And, I think Daniel De La Rosa gets it done over Sam Murray in the finals.
Yeah, I think that would be a tremendous final. I just obviously disagree because I have Landa versus Moscoso. I think that'll be a good one. Todd, what's their record? I know that Landa and Moscoso, they battled a couple times recently, but if memory serves me correct, at the World Games or World Championships, nope, Connie won the World Championships. I think it was the World Games. Go ahead.
They've played 4 times. They've split 2-2. Moscoso beat Landa at the Bolivian Irish event. Landa beat him at 2021 Worlds. Landa beat him at the 2022 Suivant Consulting Grand Slam. And then Conrado destroyed him at Worlds, 3-2 and 3.
Yeah, international play when you're playing for your country, there's a lot of reasons. I'm not going to get into it now. It's completely different than when playing as a professional athlete at these events. It's just different. The countries see it different. The players see it different. I'm not giving excuses to either side. I think Conrado really wants to add to his resume the U.S. Open because, again, whether there's a show court or not, whether it's a Doug Ganem U.S. Open or not, to Todd's point, it's still going to say U.S. Open title next to it. And I really think that's a title which, I think Alex and Conrado really want to add. I think that match would be an absolute battle. But I don't know what it is, guys. I have a feeling Landa's going to pull this one off. I see him. He's on social media. He's with his daughter. he just looks and appears a little bit different. So I'll tell you what's interesting. So Land is my pick over Moscoso. We all picked somebody different, didn't we? And
well, you know why?
Well, that's exactly where I'm going, Leo. So go ahead, take it.
Well, Kane's absence from the draw definitely opens up at least one side of the draw. But let's face it, Kane, not in the draw definitely affects it. Doesn't matter what seed he was. I think he was, what was it, Todd? Number 6 coming into this tournament.
He would have been 6, yeah.
Yeah, so regardless of where he was in the draw, Kane is a needle mover, not only online, but at tournaments, for the fans. So to not have him in the draw, yeah. But, hey, it's not going to be about Kane at this U.S. Open. It's all going to be about what we have. And that's why all of us picked somebody different, I think, because look, we didn't even get a solid look at the qualifiers, and we're going to get to see those in the next couple of days. And those are going to be some amazing matches, and I think that's a pretty good indication of how rich the talent is in the IRT right now.
Well, here's a fun fact for you. Since Daniel ran off 3 straight wins, culminating with last year's U.S. Open, there's been 7 pro events, and there's been 7 different winners. Mario won in Arizona, then Moscoso won in Sarasota, Parilla won the Suivant Consulting Grand Slam, then Kane came back and won in Chicago, then De La Rosa picked up a new win in Canoga Park, then there was then Humidity won in New York City, and then Portillo just won in Maryland. So a lot of, you can call it parody, you can call it, I know what Sudsy calls it. Sudsy kind of calls it, these guys, there's just not a lot separating them. And so any given Sunday, who the heck knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I definitely, Todd, we speak offline, and obviously, it's no disrespect to the other players, but, Todd knows how I feel. I think Leo knows how I feel. I think you have, Kane, and then there's a gap. Obviously, with the injuries, that could change some things. But I think then you have Daniel and Conrado, and then there's a gap. And then I think there's a big group, a bunch of the names you just said, Todd, that can win at any given time. So, let me ask you both this, and I'd love to hear what the fans have to say. Do you like this so-called, so to speak, parity versus the dominance of an individual? Like, what do you prefer, both of you as fans? And you fans, too.
That's a tough one for me to answer because, I've built so many different reports at Pro Racquetball Stats to basically highlight and to showcase the dominance of Kane and the dominance of Paola on their tours, When Kane goes and he gives up 15 points across 4 matches and wins an event, I go write a report that shows who made the most dominant tour win, But when Kane has been absent over the last 4 to 5 years, we've had something like 10 first-time winners on tour. When Kane wasn't there, suddenly there's an opportunity for someone else to win. So, I hate to say it, but I look forward to seeing these, to predicting these surprise matches, for someone like Javier Mar to show up out of nowhere and make a final. And that doesn't happen necessarily when Kane's in the draw.
What do you think, Leo?
Yeah, I call it the Kane factor. It's as real as it gets. I like it. I'm going to miss it. I knew Kane before Kane was Kane. And, I've been around for most of the ride. And to see where and to know where he came from, to what he did, to what he went through, to where he is now, it's a great story. He's been a great champion. And I did like the dominance, as a fan, as a friend. I loved it. I loved it. Suds, I loved your dominance. I loved Cliff's dominance. I loved Marty's. As a fan, I like it. But I know you can't have it both ways, but sometimes you can. I like the parity, like Todd just said, all the different winners. It's fun now. I like to see it, and we're going to see it here in the next couple days.
Yeah, I mean, different view on it. Not that different. I love the dominance. I mean, I look at anything we watch or pay attention to. We just watched an amazing retirement by time Roger Federer. He dominated, but he was lucky enough and fortunate to have, Nadal with him, and then later in his career, Djokovic. Cliff was kind of out early. He moved out early also, but I love the dominance that my audio is doing right now and messing up. So, quick in and out.
Your audio is dominating you tonight, Suds. Or your audio issues are dominating you tonight.
Did we lose him?
No, I'm back. Yeah, it's I really do. I appreciate dominance. And pick a sport, pick an athlete. You like to watch them dominate. We were talking about it earlier. Veronica and I have these new tennis players out. I want to see Djokovic just keep winning slams, and if it's not him, I want to see Nadal win slams. I love it. I think Alcaraz is amazing, and Ruud, and these guys are great players. But I want to see it. I want to see you don't just do it once. Do it two times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Show us that you're fully committed to it and that you really want to do it. I love it. I really do. I prefer the dominance. I always will. I think it's great that we're seeing it. Again, I'd love to hear the fans on this. I know it's fun to not know, so to speak, who's going to win, but is it equally not fun to not have Kane in the draw? And I do think it is. So he will be missed. He always will be missed, in this event and whatever moving forward. We'll have him on the show. We'll talk to him and let him talk to everybody else. So, Todd, we have a little surprise for everybody. It's not a special guest. We apologize. But I think we'd be remiss, is that the right word, Todd, to talk about the U.S. Open and not mention Doug Gannon. So I reached out to Doug Gannon, as everybody's kind of calling this the post Doug Gannon or the not Doug Gannon U.S. Open, whatever you want to call it. He couldn't be on the show, but I said, well, can you give me a statement at least? And this was his statement. So I'm just going to read it to everybody. Or Leo, you know what? In your best voice, why don't you go ahead and read that to everybody, even though they can see it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was a surprise, Suds, when you text me that. I worked for Doug for over 20 years at the U.S. Open. I went as a volunteer before I started working for him. So pretty cool to get this statement from Doug. As he says there, very excited that Connor and the folks at USA Racquetball have pulled together all the pieces to host the 26th U.S. Open Racquetball Championships. I am confident the tourney is going to be great, and I'm thrilled. The legacy I started 26 years ago is continuing. I'm going to miss seeing my racquetball family from around the world this year, and especially the incredible U.S. Open staff members who loyally worked by my side for more than 2 decades. Wishing nothing but the best for all attending this year's Grand Slam event. Doug Gannon.
All right, that's big, Todd. I had that, and Leo had seen that earlier. What are your thoughts and comments on Doug Gannon's statement there?
I mean, Doug is, Doug is, I have some insider information because I've spoken with Doug, obviously, about what's going on at this year's Open and the transition. And, Doug speaks quite highly of the staff that is working. He's certainly not going to criticize. And to put together and to put on an event of this magnitude, it's tough. It is a lot of time. It's a lot of logistics. It's 1,000 phone calls. It's coordinating with us, sponsors and volunteers and facilities. And this year they have additional requirements that they may not have had in the past related to, trying to work out, say, like, alcohol, ABC licenses for our university, facility, or fire marshal considerations for a different venue where they're going to have more people than they would have had last year. None of these things happen in the vacuum, and so the hope is that the event, it's a transition year. I don't think that any of us, certainly not those of us on the board, wanted to have an event that was in any way not a continuation of everything that the U.S. Open has been historically. And I guess that's kind of what I think, speaking as as politically correct as I can.
That was politically correct. Leo, what were your thoughts? You like you said, you've worked for Doug. Doug's a close personal friend of mine, inside and outside of racquetball. I was with him just last weekend. It was a great time. Leo, what are your thoughts? The post Doug Ganem, so to speak, comment / statement that he did give us to read.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I worked for Doug for over 20 years, just for the U.S. Open. It was a full-time social media marketing, public relations position that I had with him. And, Doug would never want to see this take any kind of a step backwards or fail. It's different times. It's a different location. And I know Doug put his heart and soul into it. He knows that he did it for us, and we're still coming to the event. So I know that Doug would want nothing but the best for us to go down there and have a great time, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I mean, we all know some things have changed. We're not going to have the show court and, a few other things. But listen, we've dealt with these things before, and, we've got to give USA Racquetball a chance. They own and they run this event now. Most people don't know the backstory of it, but it's always been run and owned by USA Racquetball. They've just let Doug become the contractor, event director, whatever you want to call him, the guy that ran the big show. And it takes big effort, and Connor's put together a big staff. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I know everybody else is. I mean, we had nearly 400 entries, so that's a good sign too. I'm really happy that people spoke up and said, "Look, we're coming, regardless of a portable court, and we're going to have a great time this week."
Yeah, that's a really good point, Leo. When we watch the entries, you and I certainly, and Todd, I won't speak for you. We were thinking low 300s. So I think hats off to the racquetball players and fans around the world that have, shown and said, we're going to support this. We're going to try to get there. But I do think, Todd and Leo, I think the telltale sign, it's not this year. It's next year. I think we're going to see what everybody thinks about this event next year in 2023. So USAR, I wish you the best of luck. Connor, I know you're doing or have done what you can. I know your plate has been full, but I think 2023 will tell us really what our fan base, what the sport thought of 2022. And I hope it's a success. Unfortunately, I will not be there. Todd, I know you won't be there either. This is the first one we've missed in a while, one of very few we've missed. Veronica obviously won't be there either. Leo, you're going to get there tomorrow. So, we're going to be looking to you and leaning on you for some updates. And I know we're going to plan on doing another show. Maybe we can grab Todd on too. What do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure. Look, it's not too late to go, and
there you go again.
For you or even Todd, Suds, you would obviously go in a different capacity, but I think about the first U.S. Open that I did not go to, and I wished I would have went. So look, there's still time to go. Look, it's expensive to fly, and it's expensive to do, but if you can make it happen, go. Don't regret it. No regrets. Calm down, hang out. It's gonna be an incredible experience, and like I said, it supports the sport, and it's the U.S. Open.
Todd, before we let you go, because Leo and I are going to let you go, then we're going to close out the show here. Any final thoughts? Any final words? Anything you'd like to say?
Well, at the end of the day, I think I'm looking at R2, and so the participant list is at 391 right now. That is lower than it was last year. There's no argument there. But what I do want to convey is that the board of directors is actively talking about this situation. We're already talking about what changes we're going to be making for next year. So this is not. I don't know. I get the impression sometimes, when. Of course, this is kind of the nature of social media, where it's always easier to criticize something than it is to be supportive of something. And there's been an awful lot of criticism of this event, going on for some time. We're not, the board of directors and the staff of the USAR are not idiots. We see the numbers and we see it's pretty obvious what has been changed. We lost a title sponsor. We cut ties with another title sponsor from last year. We still have people that are coming out of COVID. We had inflationary issues here. There's a host of reasons that are contributing to the decline of the participation. So all I can tell fans or people that are listening is, we are going to take action and make sure that what we think are the root causes for this decline are addressed for next year, so that we can get this back to where it needs to be. The major spectacle of our sport.
Todd, do you speak on this or not? Is there any plan for the board to get together to look at what worked, what didn't work, kind of a review of some sort? Is that possible?
I mean, I think that's something that I'd like to see. I think that, in my industry, I work in IT, and at the end of any major chunk of work, we like to have a sit down session where we all kind of talk open and honestly about, what happened, what led to, what went well, what didn't go well, so that you can continue to do what went well going forward on your next release or your next kind of tranche of work. And you can address what everyone believes didn't go well. And then you can talk about root causes. And so, yes, that is a healthy part of doing any type of project management. And let's be honest, to run an event of this magnitude, it is essentially a large project. You have a project manager who is your events director, your Doug Gannon previously, and now this year you're Connor Shane. You have your leads, and the people that are taking responsibility for the different various sections. Yeah, this is no different than running any type of project, and so that is what I would like to see. And the board is getting together and meeting this week, and I'm sure that's going to be something that we talk about, as a way to try to improve this for next year.
Yeah, I've worked with Connor before, at a few national events, and I certainly trust and know that everybody has the best intentions for all our national events, including the U.S. Open. Surveys are sent out, so going forward, it is what it is, and all we can do is just continue to try to make it better each year. And I know the board certainly considers all of those things, and those things filter down in through the staff and the volunteers. So I think it's going to be a great week. I really do.
Nope,
Leo,
Suds, you're on mute.
Sorry, go ahead, Suds.
Leo, sorry about that. Yeah, you got to mute out there. Tell everybody we're a big racquetball family. Sorry about that. The kids, they're not quite. Leo, you'll have to report back and tell Todd and I your thoughts. Obviously, we'll friends there and some video and stuff. But Todd, I think it's time to let you go. Joining us, Leo and I are going to close out the show, and we will see you soon, commercial, and then we'll come back with the close.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, guys, and we'll talk.
Cut Todd off a little bit quick there. Sorry about that. That was unfortunate, Leo. So it's always a pleasure to have Todd Boss on the show. Leo, what are your thoughts, man? U.S. Open next week.
Man, great show. I'm looking forward to it. USA Racquetball is going to be doing a live show from there, so players will be able to watch that. I know we have a show planned to do live from there, contingent on the internet connection. And then I know Team Dovetail. I'm sure you guys have seen Team Dovetail lately all over the internet. We are going to be doing some live shows from there as well. the shows that we do there will be more fan experience. So we're going to bring the equipment. We're going to go down there. We're going to find a cool spot, and we will be live from the U.S. Open. So I'm looking forward to that. I leave in the morning, and I know some of the USAR staff is already there. Set up, I think, is Tuesday morning. Everybody will be getting all set up all day long. Wednesday, I think the first round matches are the IRT qualifiers along with the other amateur matches, and those will start, I think, as early as 9 a.m. So, you know, we are less than 48 hours away from the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I wish everybody the best. You know, I won't be there. I'll be following. I'll be in constant contact with everybody there, including you, Leo. So we'll see what happens.
What could it take to get you there? You know, I've been asking. You know, I know you don't like to talk about it, but you know, I you know, with Kane not being there, you know, I feel it's important. You know, I feel like it's important for you to be there. I feel like it's important for all the champions to be there. I know financially, Racquetball may not be in the best situation, you know, to fly you guys in, to put you in hotels, just like we're seeing at these major tennis tournaments. You know, it would be nice to have you guys there. You know, you, Cliff, Kane. It just adds that extra excitement, and the fans love it. You know, having you guys there. So, you know, I know you don't like to talk about it, but you know, I think it would be super important to have you there at the tournament.
Leo, I appreciate that and those sentiments, and I agree with you. I think, you know, to be there to spread the love, spread the energy, positive vibes. I wish that the associations and organizations felt the same way. It's nice. You know, it's these things like Federer, you know, retiring and stuff have gone through, and how classy. Imagine if that as well in our sport. But, you know, we don't. And for whatever reason, you know, it would be nice. You tell me, how can we make it happen? you're
Well, how we can make it happen is we would have to share your Venmo. Yeah, you know, I get it. Financially, not being in the tournament, it's tough. You know, for me as well. I'm not playing in the tournament. I'm going to go down there and obviously enjoy it in a different way. I'll be doing social media for Headpin and also for Team Dovetail. So I get the economic side of it. It's you know, it's different for all of us. But you know, I guess if somebody was really interested and wanted to get you there, you guys could reach out to Suds personally, or you could just reach out to me. And who knows, you know, catch a flight, come out for a Saturday and a Sunday and hang out.
That sounds, yeah, Friday, Saturday, that'd be amazing. But yeah, anyway, so that's that U.S. Open. We'll see. Again, we'll see. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it's an amazing event and some kick-ass competition. So, Leo, one thing we didn't talk about. You didn't ask me about it. You know what? But you know enough about it. Tell them.
Oh, I thought you were going to accept a couple more people. Well, the treasure.
That's up to you. That's up to you. You have some leeway. You have some clout. What do you think?
Yeah, selling out. You know, it's true. I know you guys are seeing it out there. Hey, sign up now. It's sold out. No, it's true. You know, with the limited courts, you can only take so many players. The Treasure Coast Series number 3 is sold out, but I have been told that Series number 4 is ready for signups, and don't wait on that one. Don't get left out. You can go sign up online right now. Go to sudsymonchick.com. It's very easy. It's a simple form: name, address, division. They contact you, you pay, and you're in. Very easy. I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing it again. They're already, you know, the signups are already happening, Leo. It's pretty awesome. You know, the response has been great. The players, the fans, we really appreciate it. It's been really, really cool. They've been loving it. So we're doing something right. We're going to continue to do it. You know, 3 is sold out and we're a month away. So that's exciting. And 4, I mean, look, Brian just said from Wisconsin, he's coming down for number 4. Who doesn't want to come to Florida in November or December, right? So yeah, if you are interested, go get in now. Because again, Leo, you know, you've run 200 tournaments with 2 courts. I'm cutting it close at 40 people. So we're working. But as you know, Leo, and the fans hopefully know, we might be moving number 5 to a little bit of a bigger facility and get you down here too, buddy. So we're looking to get Leo down here for the 5th one. So yeah, Treasure Coast is going awesome. We're loving it. Thank you to all the players and who have supported and continue to get to these events, and of course the sponsors, which we'll get to after. What do we got next, Leo?
Yeah, I just wanted, before we get close to closing, I just wanted to give another shout out to everybody over getting ready for KWM Government 2022 Three-Wall Ball World Championships. About 190 players right now. So go online, go to threewallball.com, go get signed up. Look, they're doing VIP packages. They're doing Squash 57. There's racquetball, paddleball, handball. It's an extravaganza. Yeah, Las Vegas at the Strat. It's an extravaganza. It's a racquetball extravaganza is what I like to call it. It's outside the tent. I've never been, and I'm going this year. I cannot wait. Hey, I hope to see a lot of you guys down there. And sorry we couldn't get Mike Coulter on so he could tell us a little bit more, but we'll work on that for the next show. And I'm looking forward to it, man. So, are you going to go to Vegas? You going yet?
Leaning, yes. We'll see what happens. Coulter's been very generous to try to get us. Definitely going to try to get there. It depends how loud the kids are screaming. Not sure why they're up. I think they're right. So I know that's why we're rushing through this, and it's messing with the audience. Is a must. If you haven't been, go to it. If you can only pick and choose, check it out. Leo, what's the next one we got up?
Yeah, before we go tonight, I also want to remind everybody to put this on your calendar. We are less than a year away. According to Jim Heiser, he wants to let everybody get through the U.S. Open. And so August 10th through the 13th, 2023, World Singles and Doubles Open Championships. We're going to have Heiser on the show very soon. We're going to have a lot of information about this event. Sudsy went ahead and called it a mini U.S. Open. Jim doesn't want to take anything away from the U.S. Open, but he's taking the best parts of the U.S. Open and bringing it to his event. All kinds of stuff going on. He did it last year. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of money to bring in the IRT, the LPRT, mixed pro doubles, also team competition, amateur and pro team competition. And then you also have prize money in the other opens and open singles and 21 and under. So it takes a lot of money, anywhere between 80, I think Jim's pushing almost $90,000 in a prize purse that he's trying to put out there. So it takes him a little time to raise the money. So August the 10th through the 13th in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Make sure you put it on your calendar. I know it's a little early, but just put it on the calendar. And hopefully, Suds, you'll be there too.
That's the plan. As of right now, Heiser's event, with Veronica, comes down to babysitters too, Leo. Well, actually, you don't know, but it is important. So, yeah, I'm Colorado. So now, let's real quick, before we say a little bit about our 24-hour show.
Yeah, so 24-hour show. We are putting that thing together. It's going to be it's going to be a killer show. The plan is we're going to have 24 hours. We're going to go 24 guests. We're going to have one guest every hour. We're going to go 24 hours. We got a lot of cool contests that we're going to be doing so that you guys will stay up with us as long as you can. But we have we're lining them up. In fact, we're going to have some surprise guests, some guys that you haven't even heard of or seen from in a while. We're super excited. We're going to make it fun because obviously 24 hours is a long time. So we're super pumped. A lot of giveaways. We're going to be doing live giveaways where you're going to win live on camera. We may even bring you into the show. We're working on the logistics for that. So that's going to be fun. We've got some fun games that we're going to play, some trivia contests. And we want to bring some fans in on this show. So it could be you. We're going to send you a link. You're going to come in. And, you might be asking, Daniel De La Rosa how he won his second U.S. Open.
Sorry, we're messing with the audio here because the kids, and I don't know my audio. Wait, yeah, that 24-hour show, we're looking forward to it. Leo and I, we don't get paid for this. We don't have sponsors. So quite frankly, Leo and I talked about it, and we are going to use it as a fundraiser. Pretty honest, right? we're going to use it as a fundraiser to keep this show going. More to come on that. It's going to happen later. We don't have exact date. Very, very cool show. So, Leo, closing thoughts, closing words before we get out.
No, I think we went pretty long tonight. Thank you guys that stuck with us through this. The draws took a little bit longer than we thought they would, but thanks for sticking around and watching. I got to go pack. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I fly out tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And if you're at the U.S. Open, make sure you come up and say hello. And if you're not going to be at the U.S. Open, look for all the social media that we'll be pumping out. Headpin, USA Racquetball, LPRT, Team Dovetail. We're going to be pushing it hard. That's our job as a media person. Now, from this point forward, my job is to make you feel like you were at the tournament. So if there's anything that you want to see, you don't want to see, you want to see more of, you guys know how to get a hold of me. But I can't wait. And this will be my first U.S. Open without a lot of my coworkers. And I'm going to miss you guys. Over 20 years with a lot of you in hospitality, shuttle, security. But I'm going to go, and I'm going to have a great time, and I'll be thinking about you guys too. It's going to be a blast.
Well, Leo, have an amazing time. Unfortunately, as you know, Veronica and I will not make it. Tough to do, this year. So who knows? Maybe I'll show up on a Friday, Saturday. You never know. There's a couple of guys, that could call me and say, come here now. And one or two of them might be watching. But we did speak a few times this week. And to be quite honest, they were super supportive, Leo. And we could have made it happen. But it was just really difficult to justify it. I got a lot going on, trying to do all I can for the sport. That you're helping me with a bunch of those, projects that we're doing also, whether it's the Treasure Coast series, whether it's the LPRT events, a lot of other things going on. I appreciate it. And, I think it's time we come to a close here. So I just want to say, first off, thank you to Todd Boss. Appreciate that. Thank you for coming out, Todd. It's always fun, coming out here with the numbers and the stats. We had some fun tonight, and your Spanish was not that bad. We'll talk tomorrow, and you help me with some things. I'll help you with a little Spanish. It's okay. Appreciate that, Todd. Thank you for coming on. Leo, thank you so much. You're always there. You and I have developed a pretty strong and good relationship over the past year or so. We've known each other for many, many years. I might as well show this picture. You are front and center, right? Where are you there? Where are you? There you are, Leo. Tell her.
Back
sitting down.
Left or back right corner if you're looking from the front wall, but back right corner there. Yeah, ProRacquetball.net, Ed Arias, Peter McMillan. We started a company called ProRacquetball.net, and we went around and we videoed matches. That was obviously at the U.S. Open. And, man, I tell you, some amazing times. In fact, I think that match right there, that DVD was one of the best-selling DVDs, if you guys even know what DVDs are anymore. Was one of the best-selling DVDs at ProRacquetball.net, that match was.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, Leo, you've been there a long time. We've known each other a long time, but we've gotten closer here over the last about year or so. So I appreciate the help that you've given us and what we're doing. So thank you, and I look forward to more shows and doing more things together. Veronica, I love you to death. You are my everything, and couldn't do this and wouldn't be doing it without you. I'll say that forever. Of course, my personal sponsors. You guys are all amazing. I can go on and on. I always mention you, but I'm not going to tonight because I don't want you getting messages and texts from people, asking for things. Yeah, so we'll leave that away, but you know who you are, and I appreciate it. Players and fans, everybody that watches the show, everybody that supports me, supports us. You're not supporting me, you're supporting the sport. As far as I'm concerned, if the sport does well, I'll be fine, Leo will be fine, and we just want the sport to kick ass. So, do everything you can to do that, and there's a few of us that will be just quite all right. So, again, thank you to all the players, all the fans, everyone going to Minneapolis. Good luck. Wish you nothing but the best. 25th was last year. I see that. I like that, Leo. So you guys have everyone safe travels. Enjoy the matches. Let's stay in touch. Leo and I will tell you when we're going to do another Beyond the Court, and we're going to leave you with this little commercial. Leo, have a great night. All of you, play racquetball. See you later. I'm hoping Judge hits 61 tomorrow or something. Good night, everyone.
See you at the U.S. Open.
You want to stand here. This way, if your opponent's over here, you can hit it away from them all the way over there, down the line. If they're all the way back here, hit it way up close up there. Wait a minute. We're definitely not going to do it this way.